Good morning, crafty friends. Happy Saturday. Welcome to Stamp and Create with Beth. I'm Beth Roy, an Independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. And I'm just going to pull up my video. If you pop in, say good morning. Let me know you're here. If you're watching the replay over on YouTube, please say hello there as well. And if you're new to hanging out with me, let me know where you're watching from. And also, let me know if you're a new crafter or if you've been doing this a while or somewhere in between. Okay, just making sure that everything is live and working. Okay, hopefully my internet does well. Our temperature is actually -10 here right now. That's the actual temperature. So it has been really cold and it's not very fun to be out and about. So this morning, before I have to go out and about, I want to spend some time with you, and we're going to maybe talk about some things you have in your stash and how you can use those. There are new products that just released with our January to April 2026 mini catalog. And sometimes I like to go back to our products that we've had for a little bit and give them some love. I love the new things coming, and I always love new papers. But sometimes it's nice to just go back to some of our things that get to stick around for a whole year. So also today is Saturday, January 31st, 2026. I do want to tell you quickly, there are some offers going on with Stampin' Up. Bonus days are until February 2nd, which is Monday. When every $50 you spend, you earn a $5 coupon. Now that's $50 before tax and shipping. So if you spend $50, you get a $5 coupon emailed to you. You use that code on your order in February, from February 3rd to the 28th. If you spend $100, you get 2 coupons. So just letting you know that if you're stocking up on paper or adhesive that just came back in, or something like that, so that you can take advantage of getting a little bit back for yourself. You also earn the Stampin' Rewards if you've opted in. So those are nice. And those do come, if you are using those on your order, that does take your order down, and it might affect if you're earning a coupon. So just so you know all those things. Also, I have a stamp set beside me today that we may use. And the product of the month is a new thing. It just started in December. So in December, it was a paper pack. When you spend $75, you can opt to purchase the product of the month for $5. So you have to select, there's a little box. It shows you if you've earned it. And then you click on that shop now to add that to your cart. Okay, so if you're wanting that, you have to make sure you add it when your cart total, retail total, gets to $75. And I have a special at ends today. If you place an order with me, I have a one-sheet wonder that I did a few weeks ago. You can get the PDF tutorial, and I'm going to send you just a little something out of my stash. It might be some embellishments, it might be paper, it might be some cardstock. So those gifts will vary. So that is an offer through me. So if you have any questions, just shoot me a message. I'm happy to help. Oh, I have some people coming in. Good morning, Maggie. Good morning, Linda. Good morning, Deb. Good morning, Christy. Deb, you guys got lots of snow. Oh, I saw that there was a storm hitting. I don't think that one's going to make it to us. They said maybe. I'm really hoping not. It's very, very cold here. I don't blame you. I've been in pajamas for like a week. I finally I got dressed 2 times this week. I had to go to 2 places. That was it. So today we do have to be out and about here in a little bit, and I'm dreading it. My husband said it's very cold. He's already been out. Linda, it's really cold where you are too. Yeah, I can't believe we're actually negative. Our temperature has been negative several mornings. We did remote learning school all week. So, yeah, I've had my taste of it. Maggie, we know you're warm. You know, you are blessed with warm weather right now, and I'm happy for you. Okay, are you guys ready to jump in? So I already kind of said I'm just gonna play today. I don't have anything specific. I have something in mind, and it's still along the theme of scraps, but I wanted to dive in. I'm going to show you this. This paper is Beautiful Gallery. There we go. It's a 6x6 paper pack, and it's part of a suite. And when this first hit in May, when this catalog started, I was in love with this paper, and I still am, but it got tucked away because, well, we had new things and Christmas and the holidays that I was just focusing on. So when I was thinking about what to use, I kind of grabbed this paper out last week, and I thought, why am I neglecting this? So I want to show you the suite in the annual catalog. So Stampin' Up! Has online exclusives every other month. So in March, we're going to have another little offering of more online exclusives, and you may have seen some of those. Demonstrators can pre-order them right now and play with them. But sometimes I like to slow down a little bit and enjoy some things that I already have in my stash that I'm now neglecting because I keep, you know, having those moments where squirrel, we have new things to play with. So I want to show you this. Somewhere I have it marked in here. But this suite is gorgeous. I use my embellishment as my bookmark. And I love kind of that vintage feel, that nostalgia, you know, beautiful patterns, ornate frames, and this mega suite has it. Okay, so it had 2 bundles. I have this bundle and I have this stamp set. I didn't gather these dies because it has some dies that I didn't feel I would use. So that's something you have to kind of choose when you're adding products to your stash. I've seen lots of beautiful things with it. I just don't think I would use it. So I got the stamp set. I love the sayings. I love textures. And I got this. When I bought this, I loved this frame and I used it. I did a whole class on this. And I loved it. It was beautiful. It has an embossing folder that does a design, a damask design, like one of the paper patterns. And then we have these beautiful embellishments. You can see it was part of my class, and I used those. And then it has some ribbon, which is basic beige. I have it somewhere on my ribbon tower. But this drew me in right away, and I love this suite. Okay. Suites, in case you're new, they're a collection of products that all coordinate. And when Stampin' Up! Puts them in a suite, then you can order them as one whole collection, and it comes with all the things pictured, or you can order things individually. So this one, it tells the suite number over here, it tells you the price. It comes in English and French here in the US. And then it shows you all the products. And this paper, I love it. It's almost too pretty to cut, but you need to cut it and you need to use it and make beautiful cards to send to people. Okay, so I wanted to show you this, and then, you know, it has some pages. See, look, here's a close-up of those. It's really hard to see these on you know, on camera. But here's a close-up of those beautiful things. I wanted to show you something. We have a new suite. Nature Walk. Let me tell you, the paper's called the same thing. Let me grab it. It's by my leg here. My new favorite thing. Yes, Nature Walk. I want to make sure I say the right thing. That way, if you're searching it, you can find it. But they have these beautiful faux bronze pentagons. And I thought, you know, look how well those coordinate. So if you don't like this, these are called pressed flower motifs. Some of mine are loose in there. They've come loose. But I thought this would be really cool because some of these patterns are maybe a little more masculine. There's scenes. And so you might not want a flower. So if you're looking for something to kind of substitute this, don't forget these. I just got these and I haven't even used them yet. So we might pull that out today. But I love the textures. Now here are those dies that I didn't get. They do like a partial die cut with so that the piece kind of pops up a little bit. So it kind of shows you that right here. You could still, you know, finish cutting it out if you wanted it to be a full die cut. And they are very pretty. I just didn't grab those. So that's this paper I want to work with today. And I'm curious, how many of you bought that paper? How many of you have it in your stash? And maybe you forgot about it because, you know, you got something new. And that's okay. But let's go back to this paper and use some of it. So we've been talking about scraps the last couple of lives and how I use those. So you saw we used scraps to make strip backgrounds, and they can vary. They can be patterned papers. They can be two-tone cardstocks or whatever you have. But when I did my class, I found myself with all these, like, when you look at this paper, you're probably not going to use this path all by itself. But there are lots of areas here that you could die cut, and it could become maybe a little bit different looking. Or we have this really cool textured background. So I was thinking, I have all these pretty pieces, and I love this. I love textured paper to just add in with other patterns. And so I pulled these out because, well, I love this flower paper. It's kind of like it's painted and it looks like it's spackled, but you see all these beautiful designs. So there's the back of that one. Okay, so you see all these beautiful designs, a wheat field. I'm assuming this is a wheat field. This and then there's that damask. Here's the shipping one. I've used this pattern a lot, but I love this backside. You could do what we did last live and do die cuts of these papers and layer them behind like that. But I love all these little pieces, you know. So what do you do with them? Well, we're going to make some cards with them today. This is fun. It has a map on the back. There's another piece of that wheat, and then this piece. And so it kind of looks like that paint spackling. We've had this style several times. So I love that. But these are just my bigger scraps that I pulled out. And then I have full sheets. So I was drawn to this flower paper again. I love it. And then I was thinking, I have these two little scraps. Okay, so I've used that for a card. And I thought, this is really pretty. I like the distressed look. And then I was thinking, you know, this paper pack has Secret C in it, but there's not a lot of designs on the back that utilize the Secret C. It's in other areas of the thing. So guess what? I have this scrap laying here from when I was playing last time. And I thought, this is a Secret C. It's a grid. It's actually a large rectangle grid from that Nature Walk set. So I've love, this is my new love, right? And this was something I loved months and months ago. And I thought, look how perfect this goes together. So don't be afraid to grab out your scraps from several paper packs that are in a color scheme that you want to use and see what other patterns are on the back side of those papers, right? I love this pattern too. I love this paper. But you know, it kind of has a masculine feel, but look how different it looks when it's a strip and it looks like it's a striped piece of paper. It isn't when you look at the large one. Let me grab a piece of it for you so you can see it. So I've been using this quite a bit. And this is this little strip. So see what happens when it kind of gets smaller. It looks different. The pattern, that large pattern, becomes something else for me. And I love, love, love this color. Hey, Vicki. Good morning, Jan. How are you? It's been a while since I've seen you pop in. I hope all is well. Good morning, Vicki. I'm staying warm in my craft room right now. So I thought I would just use these scraps and we're going to make a card. So I have lots in here. Like I said, I have, I think 2 or 3 paper packs in here. I've bought so many of them. And, you know, I love these landscapes. I think this is one of my favorites. And this is, and it's the colors. It's just, they draw me in. I love them. So if you have big pieces and you're cutting them down, this is a great thing to use. You could use just these trees if you have a piece that's like this and put in some extra pieces to build it up on your card front and use it up. So here's the back of that one. I love that. There's that. This is pecan pie, and like a basic beige swirled. So there's lots of colors in this paper pack, and I love all of these. I love all of the themes. I mean, I can't even, there's no favorites. I really like all of them. So we're going to mix and match a little bit. Sorry, I feel like this packaging's really loud. I'm gonna just, this is just, I buy these to package my classes in them, and I use them for my 6x6 paper. Tuck that away for a minute. Now I do have a different sized piece of this, so I'm just gonna leave my scraps over here just in case we want to do something else. Excuse me, sorry, my throat is giving me some fits this morning. I have a hot tea next to me. Normally I have coffee, but today I decided to do something different. Okay, so I was kind of thinking of making a thinking of you card. So I grabbed out all my stamp sets that have just greetings, and I'm sure there's more, but this is what I have in my stash. So this beautiful motifs went along with that suite, and it has a thinking of you and a you've been on my mind, and I love those because you can think of somebody and it doesn't have to be because they're having a hardship or a negative thing. It could just be, I'm thinking of you and I miss you, right? I miss you. I'd like to spend some time with you. So I love making thinking of you cards. This is the January product of the month. So if you spend that $75 and the set hasn't sold out, you can opt to buy it for $5. So these products of the month are while supplies last. So if there are stamp sets available and we roll into February and you spend $75, you can opt to buy the previous product of the month if it's still available, or the current product of the month. So I love the stamp set though. I like the handwriting style, and this does have a sending love, you're on my mind, or actually I think that's your, because it doesn't look like a V. It could be you've, yeah, you're on my mind. I guess if you said you've, it wouldn't make any sense, would it? But I like the handwriting style. It has a just because, which to me that's like hello. I like putting things like that on the front of my card. I brought out the prayers and promises. I just wasn't sure which direction I wanted to go yet, and so I love the sayings and the fonts in this. Reason to celebrate. So if you decided to do a birthday card, you could grab this set. And then I have simply said, I have used this set a ton. It has been probably the most used set in my craft room. It has just a note, hello, miss you, thinking of you. So lots of things to choose from, okay? And we're going to just make a simple card. And then this is my other thing. I die cut scraps, and then I put a lot of things into a little plastic bag, or in this one, a large. So I have all these shapes. Some of them are retired, some of them are just scraps. We're just going to grab something out that fits the greeting we want, and we're going to finish off our card. I also have, when I cut my paper, I keep the strips. So I keep odd sizes, I keep the strips, and then I can use these to stamp greetings. So you can see I have quite a few because I'm always cutting white paper for my layers. So I just like to hang on to it. Okay, you guys ready? We're just gonna make a simple card. Be thinking about what kind of card you want. And I brought in some colors for our card base because you know what? I wasn't sure what I wanted to use or what I wanted to do. And I even brought in a Mossy Meadow piece because I thought, you know, how do you use this? You know, it's a partial piece. And it's probably a 2-inch, I'm guessing, because I cut from this side, I cut a card layer. But you know, when you're doing something that has kind of a vintage feel, it doesn't have to be full pieces, and you can even tear the edges a little bit here and there, maybe even use a sponge dauber or an inking tool and put some crumb cake or pecan pie or early espresso on the edge and kind of, you know, age it a little bit. So I brought that one in because I just wasn't sure what I wanted to do today. So I brought in neutrals. I brought in Secret Sea and Cloud Cover because those are in the paper colors, in the colors in the designer series paper. There we go. And then I brought in some neutrals. So I have a basic white. My basic beige has a little bit of glue on it for some reason. This is basic beige. And that color is in this. Now, it doesn't mean it's in this piece, right? But it may help tone down some of those dark colors. And then I brought in crumb cake. So I have some neutrals, and then I have colors that match, you know, with my paper that I picked. And then I brought in an extra one because I wasn't sure if I wanted to do this one. So what do you guys think? Do you want to do this one, or do you want to pick something like this? Do you want to pick one of these florals? You could even layer different ones up. Seeing what else I have here. That piece probably wouldn't make a whole lot of sense. Too much of it's cut off. And see, on this one, I'm not sure how I got just that little path, but I did. This one has a little piece of that, a boat coming in. I love that. That countryside look. And I know I had a lot of people tell me they didn't like this pattern. It's a tree. And I just think the whimsy of it is beautiful. So I've used this on cards as well. Oh, that's that path. And you could use this. There are creative ways that you could use that. And, but for me, it just stumps me. So I thought I like this one. So what do you think? I have we have different options. Do you want to go with my original idea of the floral? Or do you want to pick something else? Do you mean this one, Vicky? So Vicky asked the golden backside of the sea with the floral. And this isn't wrong. If you want to bring in other colors, you can mix and match. I'm just saying, you know, I did a class. I cut so many of these cards. And I have all these little bits left. And this class we did where you got the paper pack and you cut the pattern you wanted yourself. So this is all from just me playing and making lots and lots of cards. But you're kind of left with this. And you might look at this and say, well, it just has one little boat. I used the best part of the scene, right? But not really. This can be cute, layered up. It can be like a little snapshot. We don't always have to have the full scene. And I think sometimes in my mind, I have a hard time using those pieces because that's how I think. Hey, Joan, good morning. I'm not sure which one you meant, Vicky, so I'm just going to flip these over so you can kind of see maybe what that looks like. I think it goes with a lot of things. This has this color in the middle of the flower. So sometimes when we're mixing and matching, it doesn't have to be matchy-matchy. It doesn't have to be exact. Stampin' Up! Colors are made to kind of even go outside, you know, that zone a little bit. So even if this was a little bit of crumb cake, it still goes well, okay? Okay, so this one. So welcome, Joan. No worries, Linda. Welcome back. I know, I love those little boat scenes. And you know, it's funny because I do gravitate to those things, and some people would say, well, that's masculine. Don't get hung up on that, right? I use what I love, period. And I would not be upset in any way if I got a card with that on it. I love florals too. So I had some of you say, do my original, do the floral. So we're just going to jump in and play. If I have time, I will make more than one card. So let's go with this. And when I have these scraps, a lot of them are, let's see, this is a 1 3/4 by 6. This one is a 3 by 6. So this is a half sheet. And this one's just a strip that I had left over. And I even cut some off. I think it's by 10, a little over 10. But it's 1 1/4 wide. So I'm not trying to plan everything out. It has to be exact measurements. We're going to just cut them down and layer them and just have some fun with it. So for this one, I actually thought about just using white so that I could layer up all these fun colors and patterns, kind of like this. And I'm putting this one over here to kind of break it up because this pattern looks very much like that background. So I'm just going to trim these down, and I like to use 5 inches for my height. Okay, so I'm not worried about how wide it is. I will adjust that or layer it, okay? It depends. If you want to save that pattern, cut it down. Cut it down to a 2-inch piece or a 3-inch piece. Actually, that is 3-inch, but you know what I mean. So if you're not using 2 other strips, you could use this all on its own. And I showed that in the One Sheet Wonder by doing 5x3 layers. So there's my white piece. We can always change it, right? So this is cloud cover, but you'll notice there's a color mixed in there. It's meant to look kind of rough, and so that might even be green that's kind of brushed on with it. So these two, and this has very much the same, so it's kind of a mix. To me, it has kind of a green look to it. They might have brought in some mossy meadow. So when you pull out your cloud cover cardstock, it is not going to look exact. This is vintage. It's rough. It's meant to be kind of mixed. The colors kind of flow, and sometimes they're hard to see, but I'm pretty sure that might even be a little tiny bit of mossy meadow here and there. That's what my eye is picking up. So if you do this, you might think, oh, I don't like how that looks. That's fine. So this might not be the color, but if you want to bring in something else that kind of tones it down but gives it more, you know, of a vintage look, the basic beige is a great option. You can always use Very Vanilla. For years, that's the color we had, and that's what we used. But I tend to like this basic beige a little bit more. It has a little bit less of a yellow tone. Jan, this paper is Beautiful Gallery. It is from the annual catalog. So it has been long, you know, forgotten back in my stash of papers. So I've been using it. Ooh, so Joan, you're doing some scrap cards. Awesome. I missed a few comments. I'm sorry, Linda. I hope that all gets worked out for you. Sending prayers and good vibes. Ooh, have fun, Vicky. Have fun with the grands. Enjoy Valentine's box making. My son has to make one too, but we haven't started. You know, that's all right. I know what he wants to do. It's going to be fun. I'll share it with you guys when we get done. So, I'm thinking white. Anyone else have an opinion on that? Now, you could go with something like this. This is Secret C. And maybe not use this strip, right? So this is very dark, and see, it even looks different from the cardstock. So sometimes when our papers are printed, they look a little different. It's okay. This is Secret C though. It's such a dark blue, it's almost like a black. It's so beautiful. But you know, if you wanted to do a card like this, you could just use 2 colors. And remember, I had a strip of this, and it has a different pattern on the back. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's almost like a basic beige with this cloud cover, and it just gives it a different look. So you could cut a little strip and flip it over and use that pattern as well. I like the, I don't know what word I want to use. To me, it's like rough. It's used, it's worn, it's well loved. And so I like that look. Good morning, Dad. thanks for joining us. So I see a vote for the white with these. So I'm going to bring my trimmer up here because I know that I'm not worried about the width of these, but I do want the length to be 5. So if you want to make them straight on, I use 5. If you want them to be like kind of wonky or overlapping, which we can do that way as well, kind of like something was just thrown down and they just scattered a little bit, they're not straight. I like that look. You can also do 4 3/4. You can trim it down a little bit smaller so that you can angle them and they fit on your card base. But I'm going to start with 5. And if I start playing and I need less, I will cut more off. So I'm just going to trim all the lengths to 5. And I'm actually keeping that because I can use that to make a banner or whatever I want to do with it. So all of them start at 5. Again, the widths varied. So it was whatever I had left over from making a card. And this doesn't go with this paper pack, but I'm going to throw it over there anyway. Okay. So you can put them, and you could trim this. So if you know that, oh, I only want, you know, a 1/2 inch showing, you can trim it. It doesn't have to go underneath. So this one's very wide. So that's why I'm thinking I might want to cut it down a little bit and angle it a little bit so I can get a little bit of all the patterns. I have this other piece in here too. Has a little more white on it. So I may trim this down because it's bigger, so I have more flowers than this one. This has like a space right here, which honestly, that's where I was going to put my greeting. So I might keep it. I think I'm going to trim this down to maybe 2.5. Let's see where that is. Thank you. Secret Sea cardstock is seriously one of my favorite colors. I've bought I don't know how many packs already. So it is my new favorite color. I love it. It's a beautiful, beautiful, rich, deep, dark blue. Joan, yeah, we know teens. Okay, so that's at 2.5, and that's not really enough. So I'm going to put it over here at 2, okay? And I'm going to chop it. So this little piece, we can use it on the inside, or we can save it for another card. So I know you're thinking, oh, we don't have very much. It's okay. Your mind kind of fills this in. It's okay. But I'm thinking maybe not straight on. And then my greeting's going to go right here. So easy. 3 scraps. I trimmed them down just a tad. And we're ready to go. And if it doesn't come out exact, it's okay. Now, designer series paper does not need as much adhesive as your cardstock, okay? So try to go light on it. There we go. I think the hardest part was just picking maybe which patterns I wanted to use. Okay, so now we have to pick a greeting. And I like these because they're so big. They just kind of fill that little space down there. So I have Sending Love. Okay, that's that one right there. And then I have You're on My Mind. And I like this, the handwriting look. This one's nice. It's kind of like the typeset, but it's small. So this is Thinking of You. And then there's the other one is, oh, You've Been on My Mind. So these are smaller greetings. And I kind of like the one that fills the space. What do you guys think? What are your thoughts on that? And then let's see. And then this one has, you know, just a note, but again, it's kind of stacked. It's chunky this way, and I kind of like the long greeting. So this one's better. Pull that out. So this would be like that. What do you think? I kind of like this exclusive set that you can buy right now. I kind of like this one. What do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts. We're gonna finish up this card, and I think I have time to do one more real quick, and we'll use that green, the other floral with the green. So I'm just, I'm not sure that any of those fit on a die cut. So we might just cut a strip of paper. Let's see. Yeah, that's not gonna fit. Nope. Oh. Kind of fits. You've Been on My Mind kind of fits on that. Not really. Yes, the bigger saying. So we have lots of different die cuts and different sizes. I'm just seeing, I don't know that I have anything that's long enough. That's a die cut. That's wide enough for that. And that's okay because I can just use a strip of paper. I just like to try to use up some of my die cuts if I can. So we're just going to go with a strip of paper. And then I can trim it down after I've stamped it. Well, that You're on My Mind doesn't really fit on that either. That's really wide. There we go. So I've got a couple different strips there. So again, this is that set that you can get if you spend $75 in the US, and it's $5. So absolutely worth it if you're stocking up on paper, adhesive, whatever, and you're putting in an order. This is a great add-on. Okay, I have Secret Sea out. I also have Cloud Cover, or no, that's Mossy Meadow. I guess Cloud Cover's right over here on my other side. You can see what colors I've been using a ton of. So what color should we stamp the greeting in? It's going on to white, so all of them would look good. If you don't have colored inks like Secret Sea and Cloud Cover, and you just have maybe a neutral like basic gray or a crumb cake, those can work as well, okay? Probably I always recommend getting gray, like getting a couple neutrals, a gray, maybe the Memento Black, and a brown to start off with. And then build with your favorite colors. So I'm going to stamp both of these greetings that I'm thinking. And then we'll see what we like. Anybody have a preference with the color? I tend to go with the darker color, but you don't have to. You can definitely use, I've used Cloud Cover lots of times. Sometimes that soft color is what your card needs. Goodness. My G doesn't look like it's getting any ink in my L. There we go. I'm going to stand up because I can't see my paper very well. Good morning, Malvina. Thanks for joining us. So there's that one. I'm going to clean this really quick, and I'm going to stamp it in that Cloud Cover. Just to see. And with this ink, I can't even tell if it inked up, but we're going to stamp it and see how it goes. So, you know, the new Stampin' Positioner, so here's a note to all the demonstrators. You can pre-order that new stamping tool right now until February 2nd. And the only way to get that tool after the 2nd is if you grab the starter kit. I won't close that yet. I got one more thing to stamp. So, if you are wanting to try that, grab it. It will eventually be available to customers, but I don't have a date for that yet. So, I'm getting mine, and if you have the stamp positioner, you could easily restamp those. I can't wait to try it. Mine is coming today. Okay. I'm going to use this little piece. Using my chamois over here. I like my chamois, and I put it in a stamp case while it's wet so it doesn't ruin any of my cardstock that is nearby. But I like this with my photopolymers because I feel like they don't stain as much. See? And then I don't know why, but when I use the Stampin' Scrub and the Mist, sometimes they get that pink color when I use a dark ink. So I've been using my chamois more. gonna try this color. And this does not come in a big pad. So this is just a little ink spot. They come in a pack of 5, and I bought the ink refill and made my own ink pad. And I've been pretty rough on it, as you can see. I use this color quite a bit. And I just put a little piece of cardstock glued to the bottom to tell me what color my pad is. Well, I don't know. I don't think I want the cloud cover. What do you guys think? And it does look a little grainy. These are new. I haven't actually stamped with this yet. So sometimes when you use a lighter color, you get that kind of look until it's seasoned a little bit or used. What do you guys think? Again, you could just use gray. That's absolutely fine. Just gonna put my things away here. And then we're gonna finish up our card. You like the secret C? Me too. I'm gonna bring in my trimmer because a lot of times I do just hand cut these, but sometimes I really want to make sure they're straight. And I'm off here. So I'm just lining this up. I'm not doing a specific measurement. I'm just looking where my cutting track is and where my letters are, and then I'm cutting. Okay. Save those for another time. So I have, and see, I wanted this to fill the space. So sometimes if you have a really busy pattern, you might want one of those thinner sayings, but I really wanted to fill the space. So I've got "You're on my mind." We're going to have a little vote here. And then I have "Sending love." And I like how that fills the space and kind of hangs off. So are you guys ready to vote? So we have number 1, we have "You're on my mind." That's what it would look like. Then we have number 2, "Sending love." Okay, put your votes in. I'm going to pop it up with some dimensionals. And then this card is finished. I might take this little tiny strip and glue it on the inside. So when I use white, thick basic white, I don't always put a layer on the inside, but you could. Okay. But you can also just glue a little strip of paper here, or you could run it along the bottom and then trim it off. Looks like I cut it sideways, and I may have. Sometimes I don't always, yep, it looks like I turned it sideways. So that little strip is not straight. That's okay. But you could put this on the inside, and I am going to trim it because I don't want it to be uneven. So I'm just going to trim it at 3/4. And then that way it's even. And you didn't even notice it on the front of my card because, well, we we didn't put them straight. So okay, I see a lot of votes coming in. So I'm going to put this on the inside. I don't think it matters which way it goes, but I just want a little something in there. And I still have plenty of room for my message. Okay, let's see what the verdict is. Oh my gosh, everybody voted for number 2. I love it. Okay, so I'm going to pop some dimensionals on this. And we're all done with this card. I hope you guys dig out this paper and think about your scraps and mix and match. And make some cute cards. So sending love. And then I have all this space I can write my beautiful message in. So there's card 1. Let's see, I have about 3 minutes. Let's see what I can do. We're going to bring this really dark sheet in. And I'm going to bring in, oh, I forgot to use my embellishments, didn't I? Where's those pieces? See what else might we want to use. Okay. Let's pull in some of these. And I'm gonna cut this down. I'm just gonna and I'm gonna do it pretty much the same. And you know what? I want to cut both of those ends off. And if you don't want to save those little pieces like this, toss them. Okay, don't agonize over saving them to use for a project. If you don't have something in mind, just toss them. So I think I'm going to do the same thing that I did on the other one. And we're going to use that flower piece. Thank you. It's my boat piece is going down. You know what I'm going to do? Something a little different. I'm going to put this in the middle. And if you had 2 of these, this green would have went on there just fine. I just had this awful thought that, oh my goodness, I didn't check to see which way my card opens. Okay, so let's do, this has more of something that you might not want to cover. So I am going to pull this one in. Let's make this one just a note. And you could still do like, you've been on my mind. You could even stamp this without a layer and do it right onto your designer series paper. What do you guys think? Because I feel like on this, I would not use white. I would probably use basic beige, like the two-toned, and use the light side. Or, you know, you end up getting these little strips like this. You can stamp on those and use those on your layers as well. What do you think? You guys want to try stamping right onto the paper? Now remember, there's a line right here, so that might interfere with your words a little bit, but you can move it around on your paper and see where you have an opening. Okay, I'm gonna do it down here on the bottom. That's just my preference. And I'm gonna bring in my old positioner because I don't want to mess this up. So I'm going to put it right down here. And I already have Mossy Meadow out, so that's what I'm going to use. But you could use one of the browns. And I'm not 100% sure if I'm straight, but I'm just going to go with it. Oops. I'm not sure if I love it. My Mossy Meadow it feels like it's on its last leg here. I think it needs some re-inker. I like using these little spots. This came in one of my paper pumpkins. There we go. Now this one, I will just put a white piece of paper on the inside, and it's all ready to go for my message. Oops. I'm trying to remember to put my stamps away, ladies, because they tend to be all over the place. Okay, somewhere I have a white piece. Oh, you know what I have here? I have a piece of basic beige. Let's use that. That goes better in my mind with this card because there isn't any white on it. So I think, let's see. I think this is 5 1/4 by 4. Of course, you could use a little smaller piece if you wanted. You can also use the two-tone. This is just the regular cardstock. But if you like the lighter weight paper, the two-tone gives you an option to have a lighter color and then the actual color. So it's the dark colors, the regular Stampin' Up! Color, and then there's a light version. There we go. Thank you, Linda. Thank you all for joining me today. Real quick, my next live is going to be on Thursday or Friday during the day. We have basketball tournaments all weekend next weekend, so I will not be available on those days for a live. But I wanted to honor Deb, and she sent me this card that I thought was really cool, and I want to recreate this card for you. So this is my card from Deb, and you open it and it has a little slide out here. So isn't that cute? So we're going to recreate this card. That's going to be the next live. A little fun fold. So we've kept it pretty easy using scraps, just having some fun with scraps, bits and die cuts. And then we are going to recreate Deb's card that she mailed to me. Thank you all. I hope you have a beautiful weekend, and I hope you've enjoyed these simple cards and you recreate some of your own with your scraps. So take care, everyone. If you want to do some shopping on the last day of the month, you can find lots of neat things. This paper pack, many of the stamps I've used are all available at bethroy.stampinup.net. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you soon. Bye.